I made it. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. The final touch, putting the desk lights on and zipping myself up. Right, sorry I'm late, everybody. I actually set the wrong alarm, 6 o'clock, instead of 5:45, so I'm late. If you're not here, sorry, because you're waiting and bored. Excellent. Right, so, but I made it anyway, so I'm not gonna beat myself up too much. Right, adjust. That's it. I don't like to see too much of the side of that speaker. All right, so how's it going? What's everybody up to? What am I doing? There's Ice King. Hello, Ice King. How you doing? You're not here. All right, well you are here. I can see. Ah, right. It's in response to. Well, Ice King. I hope you're here, but do say morning. If you're about. So I'm trying to think, right, what did we do yesterday? We upgraded the template, which worked out really good. What else did we do? That puts a bit of light on my face, doesn't it? Yeah, what else did we do? We had a pretty good jam. That was ace. And then lots of playing yesterday on guitar happened. So before I forget, and hopefully I'll remember for Monday. So the plan is, like, if there's a Monday stream, which there should be, I'm thinking of doing one kind of lecture type session. So what I'll be talking about is conditions of success. So that's what I thought the theme would be on Monday. So it's all about, you know, basically how us guitarists are very skill focused, and if we think we can play all of our scales and be amazing at that, we're ready, and the world will accept us, and we'll become successful. And that's actually not the case. We need the other conditions of success, which aren't as obvious skill focus. So, for example, habits, having good habits, having really good environment, being able to focus, making decisions, overcoming boredom, overcoming fear, and community. And these are all the other areas outside of skills that we need to work that potentially will make you more successful. Thanks, Ice King. Top of the morning. Right. Oh, hey, there's Kevin. There's Kevin. I've pushed my button and I don't know where that. There you go. Right, he's. Hey, Dad, turning in for the night. Have a great session. Well, thanks for turning up for 2 seconds. It's fine. Good night. He's gone now. He's in bed. Asleep. Alright, he's back. He's there. Sorry, I was miles away having a think there. So, Ice King, what have you been up to? What are you working on? How's the music business going? In fact, how's the streaming? Don't mind me crunching away. Yeah. All right. Gifted you Reason. How exciting! Are you going to use it? Are you gonna start using Reason? Uh, so I'm knee deep in Door today. Right, yeah. So no, Reason's really good, Ice King. I mean, obviously, it's. I used to use it in conjunction with other things, and I was kind of in and out of using it. Literally, like it's propeller heads who make it, right? And I used Reason when it first came out. It was really good. And what I used to use before, actually, a lot of the old Freakstar stuff, like way back, I was actually using. I had this other thing, this 303 emulation. You got like two Rebirth, it was called. And you got two 303 emulations, two 303 bass lines, an 808 and a 909 drum machine, and this delay and filter unit, all built together, and it sounded really good. And you could do some really cool tricks on it. In fact, the song like White Trash that we've got uses that. There's like funny kind of bendy riffs on it and stuff like that. And yeah, it's got quite a lot of that Reason thing on it. It's all over Freakstar stuff. But I really enjoyed that. And then when the Reason came out, I was jumping on that. But you couldn't have audio into it. But it was quite good. I think the only time it didn't sound as good as other sort of stuff, but it was really, for a creative environment, it was great. And then I ended up moving to Ableton after that. Logic and Ableton I started using. But there'll be lots of creative options for you there, and I really like the way you can just wire units together. It's got that Scream distortion unit on it, which is great. And yes, and I was working with somebody who was using it quite recently, and I'll tell you what was good on it, that like all the channels emulate basically an SSL desk. So you got like sort of an SSL layout, which is super handy. It is Timothy Hutch. Lucifer, how you doing? How's it going? I'm just trying to warm up here. I just got my volume off. Getting the picking going. I feel a bit of tension going on. And the wrist rotation. How have I been? I've been good, and I've been very, very busy. It has. It's been hectic for music, and I've been really fired up about playing guitar. I've been really enjoying guitar at the minute. It's been absolutely fabulous. Learning lots of new things. No, have a right. So I'm here for the questions. This is what I am here for now. I know it's early and all that, but I have a question, and you must answer it. What's the most emotional, powerful piece of music you've ever heard? Oh, like recently. Ah, that's a good question. Hmm. Oh, I can't remember the name of the singer, right? But we'll have to go off what I can remember. And like, really, the most emotional music that I've been listening to, right? I think this is probably not a good answer. Um, is actually Alan Holzer because I was talking about this the other day. I think like with the Alan Holzer, like I hear the emotion in it and the language sort of behind what he's doing. It's like there's these great emotional and wonderful melodic ideas, kind of trying to escape this. His approach to sort of his melodies and harmony being all equally important. Um, so that's probably one answer, but I can't remember the singer. Um, um, apart from that, something I played in the moment, but not in the stream. Um, could be one thing. It's just like the last thing I listened to that I can like, actually remember the name of. No, it's a general thing, like listening to like just random pieces of his. So no, I can't think of the most emotional piece of music I heard. I'll have to make something up, won't I? So I'll do a bit of playing in a bit. Um, well, I think like a lot of the stuff I'm like doing now on the lives, has there's definitely a lot of emotion in there when I'm playing. I'm really like right in the moment, you know. So without a doubt, since like just flipping to sort of live looping, um, definitely that. And of course, I've been the other thing I've been doing is I've been getting a little bit more bluesy as well. There's a lot more sort of bending and vibrato-y kind of stuff going on. Um, and just thinking of like weird sort of note choices. Um, Actually, I've been through that as well. So, and I remember playing uh after I got the when I got the bad news and what happened. Uh, I remember playing very emotionally. Like for example, my brother passed away, which was the first memory to pass. I recorded the first thing I played and just have a perspective on pure emotion. Yes, and I remember playing blues, going through the same thing. No, because I didn't have any recording at the time. But I remember just being completely absorbed in music and not wanting to come out. So I do remember that. Yeah, it was a very interesting few years, that. Yeah, but I mean, okay, like, this is the power of music. Like, I always say, like, having music, it's like a special power. It's like, it's a bit like having a protective suit on, because, as you know, I'm a therapeutic musician. I do this for a job, and just music's a great protective factor, and it just gives you a really nice place to go away from it all. Where there's no past, there's no future. It's just you and your music, and when you're there, it's a beautiful place, and you can make everywhere where you are, no matter how bad it is, also a magical, beautiful place as well. Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it's like using the pain, isn't it? That's what music's great for. Yeah. I will change the drums in a bit, but I'm going to get something going. we go. First jam of the day. And let's go back to here. Alright. So that's probably the most emotional piece of music that I've heard today anyway. Okay. So, I know it means shit to someone else, but to me, I can sit and analyze it over and over again. I mean, fundamentally, like the whole thing about music is a metaphor for our feelings, for our emotions, and we can express our most deepest feelings and emotions through music. Nobody really knows exactly what our exact story is, but at the end of the day, they can create their own story from what they're hearing, from what you're playing, and there's another really powerful thing about music. That whole transferring your metaphor to somebody else and them kind of projecting their own thoughts and feelings and meaning onto that. There's a great book actually called The Music Lessons by Victor Wooten, and early on in the streams I was highly recommending this book, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's very much actually sort of gives you an idea of what coaching is. But anyway, in this book, it's just basically this guy who plays bass who's struggling, gets this music coach teacher guy who helps him. And the music coach guy, they go out for a walk in a forest, and he talks about deer stalking, and they look at some deer prints in this forest, and they can see he was likening sort of tracking deer or animals like listening to a musician play, which I thought really fascinating. So, like how you can look at animal prints and you can tell if the animal was happy because the footprints are smaller together and moving about, so it was probably feeding. And then suddenly, you'll find some prints where the back feet are like much more indented into the earth, so it was probably startled and ran away because the prints were like then further apart. And you can listen to this, you can almost like track musicians like that. You can listen to their music and imagine what they're possibly going through. And I love listening to Hendrix and thinking of that. Being that you worked on electronic music, did you ever write with the idea of a hook in the trance? Where was I? Tell you what, I'm going to come around to the other camera. It'll be easier. Did switch it on, didn't I? Oh, there we go. I got a bit of laptop in view there. Right. Did I record that? No. I did record the music though. I've recorded. Sorry, just catching up. Yeah, being that worked on electronic music, if I recall, did you ever write with the idea of hooking into the trance side or psych? No, I mean really early on in sort of like making electronic music, I dabbled with trance, but I've never, it's never really appealed to me. I think like a evolving piece that kind of puts people into trance. I think certainly some of the tech house stuff that I was doing would probably do that, but it might have been through boredom, putting people into trance. There's another level to a metaphor, which is picking frequencies that work well together, making a person feel a certain way. Like repeating patterns and kind of putting people in trance. Know what I mean? I know what you mean. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely, experience that as well. Pulling people in musically. Right, I'll come back over. But a good jam, that. Let me get back to where I was. So yes, I've fully upgraded the template now, so I've got like a ton of electronic instruments on the go as well. Pretty mad sound, that, isn't it? Right. No, I don't have to press the wah wah on, Gramps. The wah wah it's I can't remember which one it is. It's the Crybaby one where something 95, isn't it? And basically, I just as soon as you put your foot on it, it engages, and as soon as your foot's off it, it doesn't do anything. I can't I've had wah wahs where you have to click them on and off, and it's just awful. You set up template file on your DAW kind of as a platform. How many tracks instruments do you have on it? And do you split your drums into multi-tracks? Yes, I do. So it's all of that, and I'll show you. So we'll look at the hardware first. So what I've got here is the first 8 tracks are all my instruments. So you just click on the top here. Say I want bass. Then I get bass there. So the first 8 are all guitar. We've got the guitar bass, ambient. So it's just a long press you have to do to get to it. So these are all the sounds going along. Shred, chords, weird synth lead thing, and then when we go to the next 8, these are all the instruments. So it's sort of like a cut down version of my other template. So we've got bass. So that's the Tal Juno 101. The Tal 101. Then we've got the Juno. And that's just set to one of my patches. So that's a preset I made, and it's just designed to be really versatile. So if I want to get under the hood and start moving sliders about and things like that, I can. And change the sound. So that's not quite set up, but that's for my short side of arpeggio stuff. Then we've got the random instrument, which is set to that weird thing. And then, so this is just like sort of for inspiration, stuff like that. So if I wanted to, think, all right, that's quite good. Let's start from there. That's interesting. Try that again. Alright, take that out. Let's just try that again. See if it punches me out. No, it doesn't. I found... Sorry, just found a bug in my live loop in here. And then, right, that's really interesting. Right, okay, we'll do it this way. Alright, I know what's going on here. Fix note length. Pause. And one more time. Right, let's see what it's doing. Okay. enjoy the music for a bit. I'll pour a cup of coffee. Boom. Right. Okay. I'll catch up with the chat. Where am I? Right. Catch up with the chat. So at the minute, I do have a bigger monitor. Actually, I should use it. The only problem is, I'm now looking over here. Right. Sorry, talking to myself. Right, Gramps. You and Thomas doing a live this weekend? Yes, we are. We're doing a live this weekend. I probably answered that one. Right, so I didn't answer the drum multi-track. Actually, we're just going to go over to the template and I can show you about Lucifer. Sounds like Man in the Box. Cool. Spectacular sound. I'm in Brazil. Beautiful guitar. Thank you, Marcio. Marcio, if because I can't remember if I've seen you or not on here, but if you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be absolutely amazing. Because I do a lot of cool stuff on here, especially you know, telling people all about you know, making music and how to make lots of music and helping people to make the best music that they've ever made. So it'd be great if you could do a sub. That would be amazing. And maybe everybody do one of them. Thumbs up. What's the spacey contraption? Right, right, okay. We're gonna have a look. Oh, there's Devian. How you doing? Danny, good morning. Sorry, I didn't reply to your last email. I'm trying to remember what it was. We're talking about the Richie Kotzen album, weren't we? Sad chords, I like it. Yes. Always sad. Yeah, hit that button. Hi, Agent. How you doing? If you're first on this channel, do subscribe if you like it. Nice arpeggios. Thank you. Listen back to that later. Very nice. What the fuck? Wow. Hi, E. How you doing? Oh, wow. Hi, Agent Block. I like this. Like, damn. Man, this is the first time I've seen you ever. This is amazing. I love hearing this. Oh, look, there's Mech. Whee! And then, like, damn. So, yeah. And Mech is here. Hi, Mech. How you doing? So, you know, morning sessions are a little bit more informal, and I'm happy to talk about anything anybody wants to talk about. I'm a trained music coach, not to sound like a broken record to everybody else is here. So, I've been trained by the best music coach ever, a guy called Mike Monday, and I was lucky to have been trained and continue to be trained by him for the last officially since 2017, really. So I've literally coached thousands of people now, and it's what I do every day as a professional music coach, therapeutic / musician. So if there's anything that you want to talk about, you know, the areas I specialize in is sort of creativity, the creative process, divergent, convergent thinking, insight and analysis, all of these kind of things I can help you with. It's not just about learning a technique. You know, this channel isn't always about, I mean, it can be, and if you ask me, I'm happy to share skills. So if you want to know about scales, music theory, music technology, because like I've lived, I've lived a million music lives. Well, actually, I haven't. I've lived about 3, but it felt like a million at the time. But anyway, like I was an electronic music producer, as Lucifer was actually just mentioning before, releasing a ton of tracks. I was managed by the wonderful 2 Dutch for a couple of years. I charted with my dance music multiple times, around about 7, I think, and then I'm in McRocklin and Hutch shredding to agent. You've seen me, I've like over the last couple of years, I've seriously come back into guitar playing. I used to. I mean, what started my career was being a wanting to be a shredder when I was little, 8-year-old. So I've been playing since I was 8. So it's a long time, and I kind of left it for a bit, became an electronic music producer, come back to it, and now I mix the 2 things together, which is a wonderful thing to do, and it's just great being able to kind of do a bit of electronic stuff and then shred. So anyway, Lucifer was asking me a technical question here. And it was, and I didn't answer it, and I realised there was something going on with my looping. But anyway, if we look here, this is the guts of the operation. So as I was explaining before, sort of like this, there's actually 2 orange boxes. So this orange box here, this is all the guitar stuff there. So I have 8 channels for guitar, and then when you scroll over to here fully to the next page, you have 8 instruments of like synthy kind of stuff, right? And then when we come over here, we have the drums. So the drum machine that I'm using, I'm being really lazy today. I'm just using the same drums as I did yesterday, and I really should change it up. But anyway, I use EXO, which is just a great bit of kit. And I don't pull MIDI into here. I just flick on whatever preset I want. So, I might go like that on. And then, so I move my sample library so it keeps asking for like the samples again. Let's see what this is like. So yeah, and then what I'll do is, I mean, the great thing about EXO is it's standalone, so it's like here on my desktop, and I can just open it up, and when I've got 5 minutes, just make a new beat. It's really easy to do. So I've got like different beats there for like inspiration and things, and then each individual channel is piped out to its own channel. Now the thing about I'll only use plugins that are pretty much 0 latency or really low latency. So I'm running a round trip of about 6 milliseconds on this, which is pretty quick. And then what I've got is on each channel, for example, I've got Pro Q3, which I'm not using, but every channel as standard will have like the SSL 4K E strip by SSL. So that's what it looks like. And then I've only got what I've got is, because I never open it up in a live situation, but if I need to do a quick mix of anything, I've got high pass and low pass filters there. So if anything's too harsh and it's bothering me, I can just quickly turn it down, either on the push or just on here. But every single channel, including the guitars, has this SSL on there. I mean, one of my goals was to just have a live looping template that would sound really produced. And there was a number of experiments that I did. I used actual Ableton loopers and stuff like that, and I just came to the conclusion that actually push, because I was trying to get everything onto my feet, but actually the way to do it is like push and just use your hand and have push on my right hand side, so I can still play and do like legato and stuff and actually work push at the same time. If I need to be, there's another reason to get really strong on your legato, your left hand. Oh no, I haven't experimented yet. No, I've just got like straight into the thing mech. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a separate kind of synth thing as well. So I just sort of ended up getting into the hardcore playing of things today. Hi E Ripley. Yeah, was listening to bands on YouTube. You popped up as a guitarist. I clicked on. Wow, that's great. What is the pedal you use to trigger stuff? It's all this. It's push. I'll just move that out of the way. So that's that. And I have got it mirrored on a push mini over here, which should be on that, and that mirrors it, so I can trigger things and I can record from here. But actually, I never use it. It's just there because fills a gap, doesn't it? And it lets people see an overview, a build-up of our arrangements there. Not that, I don't know if anybody would notice. Native instrument thing, not like, no, it's Ableton Live. It's Ableton Live. I don't really use much native stuff anymore. So the push, it's expensive now because they've got push 3, which actually I'll upgrade at some point. This is a push 2. The thing is with push 2s, right, they were made, this is really weird because when I pulled this off its stand, it was really sticky, like something had been like spilt on it, like some kind of sugary thing. I can't remember ever spilling anything really sugary on it. But the surface on this push 2 was like the back of it and the sides, weirdly really sticky, and it is sticky, right? And I was just like, I couldn't work it out, and I was trying to clean it, and it wasn't getting any better. And then I just went on the net, as you do. My push 2 is really sticky, and it's actually to do with like the rubber that they were using at the time goes off and does this sticky thing, and I've never known anything like that. And I asked Thomas, has his gone sticky? And it has. So yeah, like the push 2s go sticky, but the push 3s will not have that problem, I'm sure. But they are expensive. They are like I don't know, $900 or something like that. But you can get a standalone version as well. But the one that isn't standalone is that's just like the push 2 is about that. But it has a nicer kind of surface, and the buttons are better laid out, and it's more ergonomic and all that kind of stuff. But functionality wise, it's pretty much doing the same thing. But it's just a great bit of kit. I mean, this is like so handy. It does everything. You know, like when I think about it, like here, when you're looking at it, oh god, the mic's in the way, right? Hold on. Yeah, so I mean, like I can select my instruments on this row here, and then on the top here, I've got my mixer as well. So the visual here is all just my mixers, and I can just control all my levels there. It's like really, it's just really, really good. And then obviously got my keyboard here. Dead handy. Okay. Yeah, so it decays. Weirdly enough, I've never had a bit of gear that's decayed. So replying to E. Ripley, well, I came from jazz. Right. Yeah, so so like yeah, so some of the stuff I mean, I'm starting to get a little bit more jazz fusion orientated in my playing, and you know, there's been a few developments. Actually, it's a really interesting one, the jazz thing, because it's not something I've actively gone right, and today I'm going to be jazz. I think I do recall that was a thing when I was a young player, that I would go right, and I'm going to do funk today, and I'm going to do jazz, and I'm going to do all these things. But like now, it's more of a subtle thing. Because you got to keep yourself interested. And what I'll do is I'll pick up on tiny little fragments of things that I want in my playing, because there's a need there. So from a kind of music coaching point of view, I don't think broadly about like I'm learning everything of this particular thing. What I'll do is I'll identify a deficit in me. Right? Sounds pretty bad. So I'll give you an example. Like one of the things was just using chromaticism. So, you know, I was I thought, right, oh god, there's only so much, you know. I can do. I need something else, and obviously doing chromatic stuff's really kind of helped that out. Oops. So that's really sorry, hands on like gone back to being cold. But yes, like putting chromatic stuff in has been like one of the things that I've worked on. I'll have to give a practical, proper example. That kind of thing. And then the other things I've done is like a lot of 2-1-2 stuff. I love all that kind of thing. Those like kind of arpeggios. So that's sort of like where I've ended up with some of the jazz stuff. But I haven't listened to that particular artist. It's been sort of just bits of stuff. I think Tim Miller has been been quite an influence in this. I really like those, like that 2-1-2 stuff's like brilliant. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So thanks everybody for coming along to this live, and if everybody who's on here new, if you could subscribe to this channel, that'd be great. And give me a thumbs up. For those of you out there thinking about there might be a couple of reasons here. But if you are maybe as a guitarist, for example, and you're wanting to make your own tracks and you want to make tons of music and release music, and you find it hard and daunting because you don't really, you've got the gear, but you don't really know where to start, or you're in a situation where you're kind of writing a lot of ideas, but you're not finishing anything, then I do run a couple of music coaching groups. And, this is what they specialize in, is getting people to start and finish all of their music and do it in absolute abundance. Creativity is in abundance. It's not a magical thing that kind of happens. There is no sort of inspiration fairy that jumps up on your shoulder and goes, ding, you're inspired now. You can go do music. The way this works really is if you're prepared to sit down and play music, work on music, you will be rewarded with good ideas. That's what the ancient Greeks believed, and they are 100% right, I can guarantee it. I wake up every morning and I think, I've got a live stream, I'm going to be bothered, I've got no ideas. And then people are talking to me and I'm thinking in the back of my head, oh dear, I've got no ideas. But actually, inspiration comes. Every time I sit down, inspiration comes. I sat here this morning actually, and somebody was asking me something, and I found a little loop or something, and I was meant to be answering a question, and the whole track came out, So inspiration is in abundance. Everybody can be prolific. I 100% believe that we all have the skills to make great music. We all have the skills now to make music as good as anybody else. And we can make music, be creative, do our art, practice our guitars, all of that under any circumstances. Really important because, if you watch the news, it's absolutely crap, right? And there's always something going on. If you watch it, like, you're going, oh. But at the end of the day, as a musician, the creative process is uncertain. The world is uncertain, okay? And with that, we must embrace uncertainty, okay? If you embrace uncertainty and run with that, that's where art happens. Art happens through uncertainty. Anything else is design. We want to be creating art. And why do I want to be creating art? Because we need to be unique. Why do we need to be unique? Because there's absolutely shitloads of like crap music being released, right? I mean, people are like, there's AI, there's like loads of, there's people who like sound like AI, just like knocking any old kind of crap out that sounds professional, but in musical terms is absolutely wallpaper music. In fact, that's exactly what it is, wallpaper music. So you need to cut through that noise. And the only way to cut through that noise is being true to yourself and writing music that expresses your unique yourself and your emotional journey through your life, through your music. And that's why we're here to do that. And that's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear polished professional things. We want to hear something different and exciting, you know. Most of the stuff that I find really exciting and inspiring throughout being involved in music as a music listener sound absolutely terrible in terms of being professional, but the ideas behind them are great, you know. So we must bear that in mind. So yes, you know, if you're in that situation or you're a electronic music producer, it doesn't matter what genre you are, when you're in a group, you don't hear each other's music. There is, because it's coaching, there is no problem with differentiation, okay? In other words, the different levels. I can have somebody who's released tons of music with somebody who's maybe just released one piece of music. That doesn't matter because you work on your level, and like all of the kind of coaching side of it is designed so it shows you something in your process that you need to focus on and work on in order to become successful. Okay. Right. Yeah, I may be a key boss, but you're inspiring. It's like, honestly, I was an electronic music producer. I released over 122 tracks. That's when I stopped counting, right? And got into trouble off the missus when she found out I was releasing to all these labels. Some of them were really big, right? Like Amada, and then she was like, "How much have you made?" And I went, "Well, Spotify pay 0.048, but because I've released it through a label, they won't give me any money." And then she went, "Well, how much is that?" And I went, nothing. But I was addicted to releasing stuff. I couldn't help myself, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah. But then again, you know, like now, like release through on my own label, don't I? With like Thomas, with McRocklin and Hutch, and that's a lot better because, you know, it might be smaller numbers and sometimes tumbleweeds, but at least you get paid for everything that you do and you own it 100%. So that's important. So yeah, electronic producers, it's all about sitting in the studio and making music. So a keyboard is fine. It doesn't matter what instrument you're playing. This is music coaching. I know I sit here and play a guitar, but you know, you could do this course playing any instrument as long as you can record your ideas. Then that's fine, you know. But yeah, so I am recruiting into the coaching groups. The other thing that is available, so for the guitarists out there, if you want to do you know, any one-to-one lessons, there's a small availability there for that. Anybody here who is really interested in the coaching thing, you might not be sure about joining a group. You know, because like the groups, I mean, the way the group works actually is that you're only in a group of 4 people, all right? And then plus me as your coach. And we meet every week for 2 hours, okay? And in that 2 hours, I run you through creative exercises, creative games that give you insight into your process, right? And you'd be working on your music and you'd be finishing in that music as well. But you get 2 hours of me every week. It's $237, right? A month. That's all it costs for those 2 hours. It's less than, you know, a guitar lessons bill, a monthly bill, you know. So it's really, really cheap, but you're in a group and then you have total access to me and I'll do whatever it takes to help you, help yourself, because it's coaching. Yeah, so, and then the other thing you might want to do is, obviously, not obviously, but I do one-to-one coaching sessions as well. So I do one-to-one coaching sessions, thinking environment, it's called. And what that does is you can come to me and you may have a problem that you want to solve and you're unable to solve it. And through questioning, I help you solve those problems. It's incredibly powerful, all right? And that's it's $75 for the hour. And you know, if you want a big creative boost, want to overcome something, you're unsure of something and you're kind of left with this problem and you're on your own and there's nobody to talk to, right? Then I'm the guy. Because I mean, the thing, like before I got coached, I used to think all of my problems were my problems, and nobody would understand. And I had to find the answers on YouTube and waste lots of time, and like nothing. There was nothing there to help. I was just left as this producer struggling mess till I got coached, and then I did get. I know we have to embrace uncertainty, but I did get certainty on what I had to do in order to be successful, in order to successfully release music, and at the minute now, I have I'm a full-time musician. I've always been a full-time musician, and the coaching, absolutely, totally propelled my career in its purpose, but also financially as well. So at the end of the day, we want to make some money out of our music, and I would like to help people create some sort of income for themselves as well, because that's important as well. If you can pay for a little holiday every year would be nice, or pay for your gear, or that would be good. But yes, and that is enough from me today. So do subscribe, and I'm going to be jamming with Thomas on his on McRocklin on Thomas McRocklin's YouTube channel on Saturday, and do you believe in coaching and stuff like that? Is the one of the few ways music can really be consistent? Yeah, totally, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, what coaching is about, it's actually, primarily I'm just helping you facilitate the skills that you've already got. Okay, and for you to be creative, and then as soon as you start releasing music out into the world, effectively you're going to start getting paid through Spotify and things like that. But also you've got something to share with other people and other professionals, and that's how you create opportunities. So absolutely, because what the coaching's doing is it's helping you to be consistent in writing this music. So I totally believe that. But what you have to do, the number one thing that needs fixing, is having that consistent pipeline of music coming out, So like if you wanted to be an electronic music producer that wants to go out and get into the dance world, it's very doable, because you can finish music, you can label whore like I was, get onto labels, get charted in Beatport or whatever, and then promoters will start noticing you, and you start getting booked, and you start becoming, you go from being the local DJ, seeing it loads of times, to actually getting on a stage and touring. And then the money gets up because, like, you're an artist DJ, your value goes up. So I see lots of people just making a career out of that, and like the number one thing that they do that other people don't do, who aren't successful, is they're able to consistently make music and keep themselves on a radar. So I've been coaching since, as a therapeutic coach since a long time. Like, we're talking years. I daren't say how long, but a long time. Like maybe 14 years. It's longer than that, actually. As like a music coaching, like the music coaching, like this kind of coaching that isn't sort of like centered around like hospital work, since 2017. So I started coaching 2017. How long have you been coaching and all that? And do you believe proper music education is really important? Yes, I believe music education is also important. I believe, I believe, I mean, it's more than a belief. I believe anybody can make music, right? Or make great music. But I do believe that if there's a skill deficit, then that's where education comes in. I mean, myself, I've been classically trained. Like, I can't, I've been, one of my problems was I was overskilled. I was sitting in a bedroom playing guitar and doing stuff, learning everything and being able to do it, and then saying to myself, I'm not going to connect to the world till all of these objectives are done, till I can play every scale, till I can improvise. And what I was doing is I was just creatively starving myself, which is ridiculous. And I think part of that is procrastination, fear, isn't it? That I thought by doing this one skill, that would protect me. and that's a common problem that I see. So this thing called, this model that I use called zones of experience, and I see it all the time, people getting stuck in that kind of rut of like, oh, I don't know enough, or I'm not skilled enough, or I need to practice this, or I need to do that, and that's nonsense. What you need to do is we need to think at the top of the chain, and at the top of there is my connection with the world. So ideally, all you're thinking about is how am I connecting me to the outside world, okay? What is my message? What do I want to give to the world? How do I want to make the world a better place with my music, okay? And the rest of it is, moving yourself up to that point. So you've got enough skills now to achieve that. You've just got to use the resources that you have to get yourself up that ladder. And what's good about that is it gets you making stuff. And when you're making stuff, okay, you've got data. And when you've got data, right, you can review that data, and then you can work out exactly what skills you do need in order to make that connection even better. Okay? That's what it's about. That's what music coaching, the essence about. It's not about spending lots of time learning lots of abstract skills that you don't know which skills you're going to use. It's not about solving problems you haven't got. Okay? Coaching is about solving the problems that you've got now. Okay? And through life, we're always going to have problems. It's a fact, right? When we die, we'll not have any problems. But actually, by solving a problem creates even more problems. And that's what you find. And what we want to do in coaching is we want to exchange really, really crappy shit problems for much better problems. How do creative thoughts kick in? Is it hard? I find it hard for me, maybe because I don't do it actively. And this is a whole example of what you've done there is, this is the whole coaching thing. So you've actually solved your problem there. You've described something and then you've solved it. Because I don't do it actively. And that's the solution. You have to do it actively. Having said that, I'm talking about the conditions of success, I think, on Monday. And part of that is, learning how to focus and learning how positive habits work, and also creating an environment to work in. So you can see, like, my environment doesn't have much in it. Only has the things that I need. Anything else, any studio gear in here, right? Even that behind me is crossing the line a little bit, is a cognitive load which I don't want to distract me. So only the thing in here that I use, that's it. Anything else is just like a complete distraction. I don't do it. Yeah. So the first thing to do is to basically create what is called a minimum viable commitment. So have a think, agent, like, how much time can you dedicate to music every day? If your life depended on it, if you didn't do music and you just dropped dead, if it was keeping you alive, right, and you had to do it, okay? Like eating food or something like that, right? Okay, you had to do it. When would you do it and how long would you do it for? It doesn't matter how short that period of time is, okay? But that's your minimum viable commitment. And then you just got to find a time of the day when you can stick to that commitment and do it consistently. And once you do that and you keep turning up, you'll start seeing really good things happen and interesting things happen. But that's the main thing, is you got to turn up. Don't wait for the creative pixie fairies from outer space to come and help you, because they don't exist, right? The only thing that exists is you making a commitment and sitting down and starting to write music and allowing yourself to be open to all ideas. This is the divergent thinking, with divergently thinking. When we're sitting down with our instruments, right, literally anything is possible. There is nothing off the table. And you must make music, right, without judgment. When you're early on, just don't second guess it. Just let it go out. If it sounds crap, it's crap. In fact, everybody on here has my 100% permission, okay, to make shit music. Because if you don't make shit music, right, you end up constipated. But out of that good music, right, there'll be amazing stuff. And I can tell you now, whatever you're thinking in the creative process is totally unreliable. And I'll talk more about this because there's a very interesting sort of inner game of music area which I love, and that is the distinction between self 1 and self 2. We have a critical self, and we have self 2, which is the one for performance. When I'm right into doing my live looping, I'm definitely self 2. I'm coming from the subconscious as much as I can. I'm not really aware of anything apart from the music. I am completely embodied in that. I am in flow. Self 1 is the critical judgment self, which we all experience. I've got to play this slack. I've got to do this. Don't do that. Do this. Do that. Nobody's liking this. Everybody's getting bored. That's the critical self, which we do not need, okay, when we're making music. That critical self needs to be put at one side. Our writing of music, our performing of music is all one thing. It's the same thing. We need to be in self 2. Self 1 is handy, but it needs to go in the right place, and that is analysing data that we've created outside of the studio. It's super calming. Anyway, I'm going to have to go now. So that was brilliant chat, everybody. And hold on, I've just got to catch the missus because we're going to go for a walk. All right, then. I'll see everybody Saturday and Monday. Bye for now.